Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes, a WWE feud destined for a big night. After weeks of attacks on both him and Randy Orton, a passionate Cody Rhodes stood in the ring Friday on WWE SmackDown with one thing on his mind. He wanted a match with Kevin Owens, who gladly interrupted his promo. Owens was mad because Rhodes teamed up with Roman Reigns, someone who had tried to end his career multiple times. However, Rhodes said that Owens was obsessed with being the best, calling his actions self-sabotage, since he's the only person who doesn't realize how many accolades he has in WWE. They both wanted a match against each other, with Owens telling Rhodes he's the one that makes the call. If Owens were smart, he'd make the match for Saturday night's main event, a night that is much anticipated by all WWE fans. Owens and Rhodes can headline a spectacular night. When Saturday night's main event was announced in September, everyone was very excited. WWE was bringing back a legendary event that was a staple of the company in the 1980s and 1990s. They featured multiple main event talents on every show, guaranteeing a fun time for everyone. In an era where jobbers were commonplace on television, Saturday night's main event brought the best of the best to give the fans an entertaining night of wrestling. It would be a great decision to make Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes, a feud that has definitely reached its boiling point after Friday's promo, the centerpiece of this television special. An intense storyline deserves the highest recognition, and having the match inside the Nassau Coliseum is how that could be achieved. Survivor Series. WarGames is shaping up to be a spectacular night by all accounts. The WarGames matches are guaranteed to be exciting, with months-long feuds ending inside the steel cage. Gunther versus Damian Priest will be fun as well. With those three matches already confirmed, WWE can afford to push the match back until December 14th. Obviously, the card isn't full yet, but there has to be something to make Saturday night's main event a draw. Too many high-profile matches can negatively impact a card. Since the events are only 2 weeks apart, some matches have to be transferred over to balance both of them out. 2 extra SmackDowns could add more animosity to the story, which could benefit both Owens and Rhodes. In the case of this feud, that extra time could help it obtain the main event feel it deserves. What Kevin Owens has done over the past couple of weeks has been nothing short of horrific. He attacked his friends, brought back a banned move, and rebelled against a suspension. Cody Rhodes has every right to be angry about Owens' actions. Feuds this intense don't come around often, and all eyes are on the wrestlers when they do. They have to be fought at the largest stage possible, like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. Bringing back an iconic event won't be successful without something that gets the fans talking. The fans are talking about Cody Rhodes fighting Kevin Owens after weeks of attacks. This match is highly anticipated, and Saturday night's main event is the perfect venue for it. WWE has confirmed its first match for Saturday night's main event next month. Cody Rhodes is set to defend the undisputed WWE Championship against Kevin Owens on December 14th at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, New York. The match will be featured on WWE's return to NBC, with the 2-hour broadcast also simulcast on Peacock as part of WWE's renewal with Comcast, along with the domestic rights to Friday Night SmackDown. Rhodes and Owens had a segment this past Friday, where Rhodes challenged Owens to decide when and where they would have a match with the Survivor Series and Saturday night's main event listed as options on the broadcast. The WWE has confirmed its first match for Saturday night's main event next month. Cody Rhodes is set to defend the undisputed WWE Championship against Kevin Owens on December 14th at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, New York. The match will be featured on WWE's return to NBC, with the 2-hour broadcast also simulcast on Peacock as part of WWE's renewal with Comcast, along with the domestic rights to Friday Night SmackDown. Rhodes and Owens had a segment this past Friday where Rhodes challenged Owens to decide when and where they would have a match with the Survivor Series and Saturday night's main event listed as options on the broadcast. According to WrestleTix, there are nearly 11,000 tickets distributed for the December 14th show. Saturday night's main event was launched in May 1985, overseen by Vince McMahon and Dick Ebersol as a replacement for Saturday Night Live in the 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time slot. The inaugural special did an 8.8 rating and a 25 share, meaning 1/4 of televisions in use were watching WWF programming. The specials expanded to multiples per year and ran on NBC through April 1991 before it was dropped, and had a short revival on Fox before its final airing in October 1992. The franchise was revived when WWE returned to NBC Universal in October 2005, and part of the agreement called for 2 primetime specials per year on the network. They revived Saturday Night's Main Event in March 2006. The specials ran until July 2008 and were replaced with other WWE programming to fulfill the terms of the deal, and the Saturday Night's Main Event concept was shelved until this latest resurrection. Rhodes versus Owens to put the main event in Saturday Night's Main Event. Picture this, if you will, the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes, defending his undisputed WWE Championship against the rage-filled Kevin Owens. It's a battle that reminds me of the time Fidel and I got into a heated argument over who would win in a fight between a bear and a shark. Needless to say, we settled it the only way dictators know how, with a no-holds-barred wrestling match in a pool filled with maple syrup. But I digress. Now, some of you may be wondering, El Presidente, how did these 2 former allies come to be at each other's throats? Well, comrades, it's a tale as old as time, or at least as old as professional wrestling. You see, Owens feels betrayed by Rhodes, much like I felt betrayed when I discovered my minister of culture had been secretly binge-watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians instead of our state-approved programming about the glories of socialism. The source of this betrayal? Rhodes had the audacity to team up with none other than Roman Reigns, the very man they had once united against. This unholy alliance faced off against Solo and Jacob Fatu of the newly reformatted bloodline at WWE Bad Blood. And wouldn't you know it, Rhodes and Reigns emerged victorious. It was a triumph that reminded me of the time I successfully infiltrated a CIA black site using nothing but a fake mustache and a surprisingly convincing American accent. But comrades, victory often comes at a price. In this case, the price was Kevin Owens' sanity. Enraged by what he perceived as Rhodes' betrayal, KO unleashed his fury in the most time-honored tradition of professional wrestling, a parking lot ambush. It was a scene of chaos that rivaled the time I accidentally set loose a herd of llamas in the presidential palace during a state dinner. Not content with merely attacking Rhodes, Owens then turned his wrath upon the legendary Randy Orton, using an illegal piledriver, a move so devastating it's banned in 49 states and 3 Canadian provinces.